Hi everybody, it's Johnny here, and today is December 1st, and I'm kicking off our new series of devotions in this book by Dave Mathias called The Christmas We Didn't Expect. That title makes me think of a whole bunch of years ago now, in 2003. It was Christmas time, and I was the unexpected visitor at Laura's parents' house. She was living in England at the time. I was living in America, and I beat her home to Northern Ireland on the plane. She was still on the boat at the time, and made it to her parents' house, and I asked their permission to marry her, and thankfully she said yes to me on Christmas Eve up on the Craigantlet Hills over Belfast. I asked her and she said yes, and the rest's history. So I was the unexpected visitor on that Christmas. Dave Mathias opens us up today by getting us to look in Luke chapter 1 at the unexpected visitor, the angel Gabriel, how he came and met with Mary and shared with her God's purpose, that she would bear the very Son of God, that she would be his mother and play her part in God's salvation plan. And it's lovely, first of all, how he draws out the humility, the vulnerability, the openness in Mary's response, that she's willing to hear the angel out and she responds in faith. She doesn't just respond in faith, though, she responds in worship. She sings this lovely song, the Magnificat, of how she rejoices in God. And Mary very much has this sense of where she stands in the scheme of things. She understands her weakness, her smallness, her vulnerability, and she understands how holy other God is. And we talk about that a lot in our church, don't we? How God is wholly other. He's without comparison or comparing. And yet with that, because he's wholly other, we can expect him to act in wholly different ways than we might ever devise or comprehend. That was certainly the case in Mary's life. I'm sure she didn't anticipate what God was calling her to do. And yet with that, she came in a spirit of worship and she sang out her praises to God. She said, "My soul magnifies the Lord, and my spirit rejoices in God, my Saviour." I love that Mary's ministry, so to speak, begins with worship. And I believe that should be the case in all of our lives, that serving God is not just a matter of fulfilling duty, your duty to be the mother of God, or my duty to be a pastor in a church, or whatever duty it is God has given each one of us. But really the ministry begins with worship, with delight in who God is. So I just want to challenge you with that today. What has God put in front of you? How is it that he's calling you to serve him? Bear in mind that serving him is not just a matter of fulfilling duty. Really, serving him begins with delight, begins with worship, because God is most glorified in us when we are most satisfied in him.